Hi, I'm Amanda, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the pros and cons of ACH transfer versus credit card payments. So the first thing is many people have heard of ACH, use ACH all the time, but don't really know how it works. So an ACH payment is the electronic transfer of funds between bank accounts or credit union accounts through the automated clearinghouse network. So that's a network that processes financial transactions in the US. And the organization that oversees the ACH network is NACHA, which it was previously called the National Automated Clearinghouse Association. So they process a lot of payments, and it's really a popular method to electronically transfer funds. And they talk about here how their payment volume has been growing. Like they say here, in the third quarter of 2025, they recorded 8.8 billion payments, which was an increase of 5.2% over the previous year. So it is a popular payment method, and it is growing. So there are some advantages to using ACH as a payment method for your business. The fees are usually pretty low. Sometimes there are even like free ACH payments available with certain payment processors. But most of the time there's a small fee, but it's usually it could be a flat fee structure, which is probably the most common. Usually a fee of less than $1 per transaction. And then if it's a percentage, it's usually less than 1.5%. So it is pretty low, which is helpful, particularly when you're making large transactions. Then the other good thing is you have a lower churn rate when you use ACH payments. So the churn rate is really like the percent of your customers who stop doing business with you over a certain period of time. And the reason that ACH results in a lower churn rate and keeping more of your customers is because the customer's information doesn't change as often when with a bank account versus a credit card, because bank account information usually stays the same for several years, whereas with credit cards, there could be issues. They may use a new card. The card could get stolen, lost, things like that. And then the other thing is that there are higher transaction limits with ACH than with credit cards, because credit cards are kind of limited based on the card and the specifics of your business. But with ACH, like it says here, this is just an example, NACHA increased the same day ACH dollar limit to $1 million per payment. So you can really send very large payments with ACH. Some of the drawbacks to ACH, though, are that the processing times are slower than with credit cards. Kind of on average, it could take 3 to 5 business days for the payments to settle. Credit card transactions, it's more like 1 to 3 business days. The other thing is that funds aren't guaranteed with ACH transfer. The payments can be rejected due to non-sufficient funds, incorrect account information, closed accounts, things like that. And then it's also US only. There are international ACH options, but it's not true ACH. It's not really actual ACH, because ACH is limited to the US. So it's best for domestic payments, really. And then the thing about credit card payments, kind of the pros of credit card payments are like I said, is the processing times are a lot faster. Sometimes it could take just a day for the payment to settle, compared to maybe up to 5 days with ACH. Also, the good thing about credit cards is that you can benefit from rewards and points, which is really great. And you can use those to cut back on business expenses like cash back or business travel, like when you get airline miles. And then the other thing is that they're great for international payments. They have a lot more international capabilities than ACH does. But the cons to credit card payments are that their fees are higher. It's usually a percentage, could be between usually 2% to 4% of the transaction is your fee. So that can be pretty expensive, especially when you're looking at larger transactions. And then the transaction limits are a lot lower with credit cards than with ACH. Like I said, it kind of depends on the card and the specifics of your business and just kind of all of those kind of factors. So it is a lot lower. Credit card, because of the higher fees and the lower limits, it's better for smaller transactions than large transactions. And then you also may get a higher churn rate with credit card because credit card information changes a lot. So customer information might change more frequently and you might lose customers. Making ACH really the better option for like recurring payments like subscriptions. And if you make recurring payments like utilities, that's also ACH is also a good option for that. So the thing is that you're not only choosing whether you want to use ACH or credit card, you also have to choose a payment processor to make that payment possible. So there are some different options available for that. We'll just take a look at a few here. A popular one is Melio. This is like an AP and AR solution. So we will look first at their fees and then their processing times. So they have different plans available. They do have this free plan that you can start with. They also have the unlimited plan, which they mention as being their best value plan. It's $80 a month, but you get unlimited users, and then you also get unlimited free ACH a month, which is really great and can save a lot of money. So the thing about their fees is, yeah, like I said, you get unlimited free ACH when you have the unlimited plan, but if not, once you surpass like the free ACH that you're allotted per month, the ACH bank transfer will cost you 50 cents per transaction. And then with card, it's usually 2.9% is the fee that you're looking at there. So that's kind of what you're looking at with Melio. With their transaction times, their payment delivery times, it is also going to vary. For ACH, it's usually 3 business days. And then like with credit card, it could be processed within like the same business day even. So it is pretty quick, and that's kind of what you're looking at. And it will depend on like the delivery method that you use as well. So that's how Melio works. And then Bill is pretty similar to Melio in that you can manage both AP and AR. Their pricing is a little different. It's per user per month. So it will be possibly more expensive because you don't get those unlimited users at that price point. But they do have some other features like cash flow forecasting that may be something that you want to look at. So the transaction fees for ACH is 59 cents per transaction. And then with card, it's again 2.9%, the same as Melio. And then their delivery times, you can take a look at them here. If you're paying with a bank account, usually like 2 to 4 business days. With credit card, 1 to 2 business days. And then the last one we'll just go over briefly is FlexPoint. That's another option. So they are also a popular option that you can use for payments. So the way they work is it depends which plan you have, like how much ACH will cost. With their most basic plan, it would be $1 per transaction. The next tier, 50 cents per transaction. And then their highest tier would be 25 cents per transaction. And then credit card pricing is Interchange Plus pricing. And then they also have same-day ACH. The other ones also have same-day ACH as well, and there's an additional fee with that. And here they kind of break it down. Again, that's per plan. A certain amount is included with the higher tiers, but with the lowest tier, it's a 1% fee. And then their times are like for standard ACH, 5 business days, same day ACH, it'll be the same day, and credit card, 3 days. So those are kind of the different payment processors. There's a ton of them out there, and this is just a few of them, but I just kind of wanted to show you some of the options that you're looking at and kind of how the fees differ. A really popular choice is Melio because of the ability. It's fairly inexpensive, and then you also can manage AP and AR, and the unlimited free ACH is also really attractive. Bill is more expensive generally, but it does have some forecasting features that you might like. And then FlexPoint, they also are good for like AR automation. So it kind of depends on what kind of features you need. So a good solid choice would be Melio, but again, it depends what you're looking for specifically. So just to kind of sum it up, if you're deciding whether to use ACH or credit card, you should know that ACH payments are best for high transaction amounts and domestic payments, while credit cards are best for international payments and lower transaction amounts. So that's kind of the pros and cons of ACH versus credit card payments, basic overview. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you.